Well, everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be putting some of the chrome back on the bike. I got it cleaned up. Some of it cleaned up really good. Some of them didn't clean up near as good as I'd hoped. And probably the ones that show the most are the ones that didn't clean up really well. I'll do a whole over the bike once I get all put that together, showing you everything. But these pieces here go on top of the heads. And I think because they were sitting flat, where stuff could drop directly on them, moisture and stuff could sit directly on them, they pitted the most, and they didn't clean up. They cleaned up probably the least out of all the parts I did. It's as good as it's going to get. I tried a couple of different things, and it actually started scratching the chrome a little bit, so I stopped. I figure I'm going to make it look worse than what it does. But it looks a lot better than it did, but it's not as good as I was hoping. But anyway, that's the best I can do on it. So these pieces just slide in, and it's kind of like a puzzle. You got to get it just right, and then it goes right in. I went in and laid the front one in there just to try it, and there it goes, just like that. 4 bolts hold it in. Everything's put on here. We've got the cover for the radiator overflow tank and the cover for the, I guess it covers up the battery area, makes it look a little nicer. All you need to do is take the plugs out, clean them, check the cylinder bores. Okay, I've taken both the spark plugs out. I'm going to put my camera, I have a borescope camera, I'm going to put it down in the cylinder and see if I can see what it looks like down in there. Pass the threads there. Okay, that's the top of the piston. It's got quite a bit of carbon on it. I don't see any water or anything in there. I can't really tilt my camera very far because it's pretty tiny diameter hole for the spark plug. It's smaller than a normal spark plug. So what I'm going to do is, let me take it out here. Hang on a second. Ooh. Here's the car. I've got a little right angle mirror that I can screw onto the end of this thing. Okay, let me go down in there with this and see if we can see the walls of the cylinder. That's the threads where the spark plug goes. Down past that. I'm getting a reflection on the mirror, that right angle mirror, so I really can't see a whole lot. And if I turn the light off, there's one brighter, and then this is off, and you can't see anything in the screen. So I really can't see a whole lot. It looks shiny. I mean, I don't see rust or anything, so I'm gonna hope for the best, and I'm gonna squirt a little bit of WD-40 down in there and clean the plugs. The plugs don't look too bad. Plays through my phone, that camera does. See, this is the spark plug. It's an Autolite 4303, but you can see how tiny the threads are. They're probably only about 3/8 diameter. I'm sure it's some metric dimension, but just looking at it, it looks like about 3/8 in diameter. Let's see if I got something to measure with here. I don't see anything right here, but you can see the end of my finger, how much smaller the thread is than the end of my finger. That's just I've never seen a plug like that before. Maybe that's really common in these Kawasaki's and Suzuki's and things like that. I don't know, but it's definitely not like the one in my Harley. It looks really good. I mean, it's just a little dirty, but it's not all gummed up or bad looking. I think I'm just going to clean it and check the gap and put it back in. Okay, this is the factory mirror color. It's kind of crusty up here, and when I strip the other mirror off, it does have some rust to it. So I had to put a couple good coats of primer on it, and I had to put a couple coats of paint on it, and then sand the paint, put a coat on, sand it, put a coat on, sand it. I did about 4 coats to finally get it to lay down good. But I didn't really like this. I think it's a gray color. It almost looks kind of like a greenish gray, kind of like an army color almost. And you know, it needed to be repainted. You can see some of it's coming off, and like I say, it's getting kind of crusty under it. So I went in and painted one mirror with the same color paint I painted the frame. It's a semi-gloss engine enamel, and this is what it turned out like. It doesn't look too bad, so I've called that one good enough. I don't want to keep going on and end up screwing it all up and have to start over. But anyway, it looks pretty good. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to this one. I'll get that done, and I get these put back on the bike. So I'm going to set the seat and the tank on it, and then I'll video it for you. See what you think. Hey everyone. I've got the bike pretty much put back together. I got the tank on it and the seat on it just temporarily because I still had to clean out the tank and get the fuel pump working and all that stuff. But I have the rest of the bike finished except for the mirrors. I got one mirror painted. I don't have either one of them mounted back on the bike yet. So I'm going to just shoot a quick video here just showing it kind of together and see how it cleaned up. It cleaned up really nice. It's a very nice bike. I think it's making somebody a great bike. So anyway, this is what it looks like now. And it's kind of hard to tell because it's later in the afternoon. The sun's starting to go down a little bit, so you really can't see how great it looks. I mean, I need the sun to really sparkle on this thing to make it shine. I did notice I need to get in here. I'm going to clean these up and repaint this flat black in here. Some of it's peeled out on both pipes, but overall it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect. Saddlebags cleaned up really nice. The paint is really nice on this bike. The chrome, it's got a few flaws, but overall, for a bike that was new in 2008, it's a nice looking bike. The only thing I had a problem with were these. I didn't want to take them all apart to clean them up and paint them. I tried wire brushing them and everything. I got most of the corrosion off. They don't look the best, but the new owner can decide what he's going to do there. I was going to mask them all off and spray them with the same silver I painted the top of the tree with and the bottom parts of the fork. You can see that stuff really sparkles, really looks nice. But on these buttons, they have little decals or little, I think they're painted on but it tells you where the switch is off and on. And then over on the other side, it's got turn signals and the bright and dim switch. And so I didn't have a good way to put that back on again, and I didn't want to leave them off. So I figure it doesn't look bad. I mean, the new owners can decide what they want to do with it. Same with the gas cap. I was able to save the gas cap. The chrome's a little pitted on it, but it doesn't look bad, and it works just fine with the key that does ignition and the fork lock. So you don't have to have two keys. The speedometer cleaned up really good. It had some mold or something on the inside of the glass, and luckily I could take this apart. It just screws together, so I was able to take it apart and clean the glass really good. So that I'm real happy with that. The windshield cleaned up really good. I mean, it's not perfectly clear, but it's not bad for as old as it is. The chrome looks really good on it. Most of the other chrome cleaned up really good. I'm not real crazy about the turn signals. They're a little smaller than the factory, but hey, it's better than no turn signals at all, right? And the trees, the chrome sleeves on those look really good. The lower trees look really good. The wheels cleaned up really nice. You can say all the chrome, it's just a really, really nice looking bike. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. The last thing I need to do to it now is take the tank back off, and I've got some of that evapor rust I'm going to dump in there and let it sit for a few days, slosh it around, and then rinse it out, and hopefully it'll clean up really good. And then I want to take some kind of a gas tank sealer and dump in there and slosh it around so it seals any rust that could be in there yet, keep it from getting out into the fuel system. But that's the last I have to do to it. Okay, so anyway, this is going to end this video. So have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Now I have to put this, it's like a crankcase. Okay, now I have to put this on. This is like a crank. I can't say. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put this hose assembly on. It's for the crankcase. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this hose assembly on. It's for the crankcase ventilation.